and your premium is $57, we're going to hypothetically, then that's gonna be your price for the remainder of you keeping your policy, okay? So that means it's a level, premium, which means it does not increase. So again, throughout you having that policy active, that will be the same amount that you'll be paying throughout the whole life of that policy, okay? Does anyone have any questions about that? No? Okay, perfect. Another thing is the whole life is typically more expensive than term, again, because it has that benefit. But again, the term is more cheaper and the whole life is more expensive. But like we always say, you pay for what you get, right? So the more you pay, the better off you're gonna be, okay? But we also just wanna make sure that you understand the different options. Now, do you guys know what a GoFundMe is? You do? Oh, you know all this. Okay, we're gonna say, well, what is a GoFundMe?
It's a thing you jump on the website and people donate money towards you to try to pay for it. So in other words, you need $10,000 for a fund. You get on the site and say, oh my God, I got no money. Please help me. People feel bad and donate money to you.
That is the shortest, simplest, most expressive way I've heard it, and that's exactly what it is. And so a lot of the times the families that do not have any policies established or in place, their next resort is, like you said, get on the internet, get a little money.
That girl that was wrestled that guy on that bicycle. Remember the one up north in New York? She worked for the hospital, wrestled the guy from the bicycle, this and that. She went and did a GoFund. She asked for $25,000. She got $875,000.
Exactly. So yeah, sometimes it depends. Most of the time, the GoFundMe accounts, in her case, and it was a good thing because she made more than what she asked for.
Yeah.
But however,
she's gonna lose it though. We're suing her.
Well, see, so she won then, but now she's losing, right?
Yeah, well, because the lawyer, he adapted some paperwork and stuff and everything, and they got the actual record to show that he was the actual renter of the bicycle. And what she did is she ended him and tried to wipe back in, but what happened is the car didn't end. It reloaded back up.
Gotcha.
So she thought she actually got it, so she actually stole the bicycle from him. Yeah. So they're gonna press charges, so she's gonna lose that money. I would see every damn man she got plus her job.
Oh wow, yeah. Sometimes, you can't do things in a way to where it's a benefit to you now because it may bite you in the end. Especially if you're not doing it.
That was pure racial, man. She was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant.
If you're not doing things on pure intentions, sometimes things just come back and bite you worse than what you started out with, right?
Yeah, it's called karma.
That is true. That's the big word that we can say, karma. So again, like I was saying, in her case, she was good and she, got her money. But most of the time, 12% of the GoFundMe campaigns do not reach their goal, which can be very discouraging because again, you're already in a state of mind that you have to do a funeral arrangements, and then you put it to GoFundMe just thinking, someone's going to help you, and then actually they don't help you, so then now you're even more discouraged.
Right.
So GoFundMe, like I said, there's car washes. I've seen T-shirts. I've seen fish fries, all different types. But that's why we want you guys to get life insurance or final expense policy. That way, that alleviates your family and yourself to having to go through that turmoil, should I say, or just being denied to to where it's even more hurting, like I said. So also, do you guys know the difference between the burial and the cremation? I mean, that's a simple question, but
the burial is when the dog bury your home, and the cremation is the burning.
Correct. That is correct. So again, the burial is again when they're burying you in the ground. You need a plot, you need a headstone. I don't think all the other things that you may need. Yeah.
The funeral itself costs.
Exactly. So basically,
how fancy you want to get, horse and carriage.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you said, how fancy your family wants to get. You want to get a glass casket, horse and carriage, all of that will come with your burial. Whereas, like you said, cremation. Some cremations, there's actually a different type of cremation. There is a direct cremation. Direct cremation is a no service, and it can range anywhere from $800 to $1,200 or $800 to $2,000. Excuse me. As far as in funding, and that's just for basic. I mean, no service. So we have to make sure that we think about this more so. I'm speaking to you more so because we already know you have something established. So you can tell your cousin this information that we're giving you today about the cremation. So if you guys, that's the first one is a direct cremation. Again, like we said, is a no service. So it's just about, like I said, from 8 to 2,000. Then there's the next one we call a celebration of life. Celebration of life, which you'll be cremated, and then there will be some type of a service at the church or at the funeral home where they have pictures and videos. And so have you guys experienced that or seen that before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So those can range from 2,000 to 6,000. Okay, and that's the second form of cremation. So just based on, you know, what type that you want, your family want, is gonna be the amount that you guys are going to make sure you know, that you get for that policy, okay? And then the last one is called a full service cremation. A full service cremation is it ranges from anywhere from 6,000 and up to whatever your family can afford, and that's where, you know, the fancy stuff come in. Like we say, well, for cremation wise, it won't be a horse and carriage, but just still fancy as far as what your family can afford and what you want. I mean, I know I've seen doves released. I've seen where families get cremains and they spread them over the ocean. Someone's planted them in the yard, made gardens, all different type of things. So I've actually seen, like I said, different forms. So does anyone have any questions at this time? I know I'm kind of talking on it and rambling, not really rambling, but but kind of doing key points, because I have a few that have not been here, and I know like we've gotten, you know, you covered. So I just kind of want to make sure I point out certain things specifically for you, because I already know your situation, and as well as you too. You're pretty smart, you know, pretty much all the answers to my questions. So I'm expecting a call from you this time.
How we gonna set up today?
Okay, well, I'll be here and we can talk, okay? Alrighty, so, is there any,
I have a question.
okay.
Do you guys know the difference between final expense insurance and whole life insurance?
Cover your life, and that's gonna cover your life, and the other one covers, I don't know.
There you go. Final expense covers all your burial rates and everything aspect about that. Whole life covers every aspect about that, but it also sends money back to your family to cover the medical bills and hospital bills and stuff like that.
Correct, and also,
Are the bonds.
there's another big difference that a lot of people don't know. So if you have a whole life insurance policy, maybe for your mother, or someone has one on you, or you have one on a daughter, a grandchild, whatever the case may be, those policies take anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 weeks to pay out. So if I were to pass away today, Nia, my mother, and we're gonna act like she's my mom today, she's devastated and she has no money to bury me in the next week. Why? Because I have a regular whole life policy that takes anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 months to pay out. Secondly, final expense policies pay out within 24 to 48 hours. You wanna tell them about your client that passed last week, the claim for?
So unfortunately, we had a client, to where he passed away, obviously, and then his family was able to get the funds within 24 to 48 hours because he had a final expense policy. Now, he had also a whole life policy, but he also had a final expense, which saved them because they were able to get the funeral home the money, which is, you know, they want the money tomorrow or yesterday,
Yeah.
pretty much. So before they even touch you, before they even put you in the freezer, or how, you know, I don't know the proper name for it, but with the storage to where they keep your body. So, like I said, fortunately he had that policy, and so we were able to get his family that cash within that 24, 48 hours, and they were able to take care of the service, to everything pretty much that they were needing to take care of. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
When you cremate, it still puts you in the freezer. You made it.
Well, they store your body, obviously, like right
Why
when
they do that?
it's like a freezer.
Smell, stuff like that,
Preserve
they
you.
have to preserve you.
They have to preserve your body before they basically burn it, just to be honest, before they burn the body. So, and I went through that actually, personal, I'm gonna just be personal experience. My grandmother passed away about 2 years ago in 2022, and she was cremated. I fortunately, and I say fortunately, was able to go in and actually do her makeup and do her hair and put on her wig and everything. But I also learned from doing that. Yes, ma'am. I also learned from doing that, again, like I said, they do store your body. They have to store her body and we had a service. Even though she had a cremation, but we had a service. So with it was about 7,200. She had life insurance. Fortunately, like I said, this is prior to me actually getting full-fledged into this my position that I'm in now. But our family is already, strong on life insurance. My son has one, I have one, my mom and my grandmother, we all have, our policies. So fortunately, she had life insurance, and so we were able to get it taken care of. And again, like I said, it was 7,200, and it was a service at the funeral home, and her body was cremated. But again, like I said, yes, her body is stored at the funeral home inside of a freezer to preserve, again, like Caitlin said, your body. To where, like I said, your organs, obviously they drain your body from, the blood and all, not to be too gory, but they do that, and so they need to preserve your body. So they charge us for storage. If I can remember correctly, because again, I went through the step-by-step process with my mom, even going down to the obituary. And so if I can remember correctly, I want to say they charge about 300 to 400. Ma'am,
Mom died.
no, ma'am, my mom she's still here living. But no, I was saying that my mom and I did everything for my grandmother's funeral. Her service, her dress, the obituary, the videos, everything that consists of what you have to do, pretty much. And then, like I said, I pretty much went in and I did her hair, her makeup, and stuff like that. But they charge you also for that as well. So you want to make sure you get covered to cover all of those expenses. A lot of times people don't realize that all that stuff is being charged. And again, like I said, the funeral home, you can sign over your insurance policy as collateral to them. But again, if your funeral, say you have a $10,000 policy, and you sign it over to the funeral home, then of course, they're going to say that your funeral was $10,000 because they want that full policy. Whereas, your family has a final expense policy, and you get everything covered for you, and then your family's, like I said, paid out in the next 24 to 48 hours. So, does anyone else have any questions? Did we kind of cover everything for you?
I joined number 2.
I'm sorry.
I joined number 2. Is that one
You doing number 2? Yes. So we
I
did
thought
talk. Okay. So you will be doing the service type of a church and a funeral. So that you'll be doing the celebration of life.
And I thought that my sis passed away. Me and my sis was that and all that time when she passed away, my mom passed away. We did the same funeral. We did
Feel bad.
funeral.
I said, don't feel bad. My brothers were all both passed away. Both of my brothers. Both of them. They all died right here in Winter Haven at the hospital.
Oh, I'm
At
sorry.
Winter Haven Hospital.
My mom died in her
That's not the place to be.
in the house.
Winter Haven Hospital is not the place to be to die.
In Arkansas.
No.
Come
I
on.
don't know if we give up on that.
Seen too many things
I
happen.
give up on some men.
My brother died because of food poisoning.
So we've done.
My other one died from drinking beer.
Okay.
That's what killed him.
Then
I've seen too many things happen to him. I won't go through it. I'm not doing that for him. I didn't say it was likely to.
They told me
I let him go.
that my sister passed away.
Let him go.
Not
I
passed
let him
away.
go.
Oh, wow.
And she might need to be at the funeral.
Yeah.
My sister, my partner, contact
So
now.
that's why they got everything set up for you, just so we can guide you. It makes sense. It makes sense. Well, I'm glad that they have everything already set up for you. That way
But
you'll.
it's your hard to go up to that castle and see someone that there with their brother. So it's your hard for me to do.
Yeah. It's okay. Well, does anyone else have any questions?
No.
So I want to let you guys know that a lot of whole life insurance policies, the number one thing why people have issues with insurance is some health concerns. So when it comes down to final expense policies, we can literally approve just about anyone. So I'm going to go over like a few health questions, and if you say yes to any of these questions, I could still get you approved. So in the past 12 months, if you've used any form of tobacco, tested positive for HIV or AIDS, currently bedridden or hospitalized, however you're here, receive assistance with daily activities, disease of the heart, including heart attack, heart surgery, congestive heart failure, irregular heartbeats, or stents, cancer other than basal skin cancer, Disease of the lungs, including COPD, chronic asthma, or the use of oxygen, complications of diabetes, such as amputation, diabetic coma. And this is for your friends and family that aren't here as well. Blindness, neuropathy, or kidney disorder. Confined to a hospital more than twice in the last 2 years or had any surgeries, or recommended counseling for the use of drugs or alcohol, and any signs of depression, bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia. If you said yes to any of these questions, it still get you approved. If you say no, even better. You get approved for the best rate.
Right.
So we'll be here for a while. Go ahead.
Kidney disorder. What type of kidney disorder?
Not to be specific, so even if you have one, with children, my son has a kidney disease, by the way, and he's only 4, so he can still get approved for a policy. It's just depending on the carrier and whatnot. But if there's a kidney issue or some type of neurology
I had
issue,
kidney cancer in 2011, so I got 1 kidney. So.
okay. So you, in the past, okay, so we'll see. We have some carriers for you. We are at brokers, you guys, so we do represent 40 plus A-rated insurance companies. So we have, you could think of us like the Expedia of life insurance. We can look at an array of different options for y'all to approve you. So yeah, other than that, yeah, I'll give it back to you.
Alright, well, as she said, she just kind of piggybacked on the rest of, you know, the questions that we would have had for you guys. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Alright, who's ready for some donuts? Look, you came back right at the right time. Look, you just timed it. You was here last time, you timed me this time.
Yeah.
Look, you rolled back on around right when I was gonna give out the donuts.
He was getting something straight.
Okay.
So they didn't do.
Okay, well that's fine. Well, you know, you was in our other meeting, so I know you remember everything. And plus, you're gonna call your sister today for me, so
That's right.
you're gonna get a donut for calling, making sure that your sister.
Give me a box and let me go.
The man is greedy. The man's greedy.
But she said she gonna give me the whole box. Y'all don't know that.
Stop it. Right now. Right, so you want to call your brother right now.
Now get it.
I know where your brother lives.
Where is it?
There.
Which one?
Set it.
Where?
One cut the groceries. One cut all the groceries.
Yeah, the one somebody put groceries at my door and he claimed it.
He did.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna put it over here so you guys can do like a little assembly line.
All right, no fight, no
All
fight.
right, girl. Just go right now. Just go.
Gee. Huh?
Can I claim your groceries?